So, Madam Premier, first of all, thanks for taking the time to talk to us, especially at the end of the year. I know it's probably quite busy for you, and we really appreciate the chance to catch up with you.
Thanks so much, Mike. Great to be here with you today.
So, first of all, maybe it's been, well, almost 2 months now. Have you gotten used to hearing Madam Premier yet?
It's still getting used to it, I will say. A lot of us still calling minister and so on, and I still respond to minister too. But yeah, still getting used to things. But I think we've covered a lot of ground in the last 7 weeks in a very short period of time.
We want to talk about some of those things. We want to get to know you a little bit too. And then, of course, ask questions that a lot of people are asking right now. But maybe let's start with something fun. First of all, the Bombers won back-to-back Grey Cups just a week and a half ago. What was that like for you watching the game as Premier, or did you get to watch the game?
I did, yeah. I actually went to the game. It was
Nice.
phenomenal, great experience. I went with my family, and it was just surreal. It was a nail biter to the very end, as you know, and it was that final, announcement, and the most incredible thing. So we were so excited, and it was great to be there and share it with my family.
What do you think something like that is like for the province? What does it mean to Manitobans?
I think it's incredible. It puts us on the map around the world and across the country, and that's we're resilient in our province, and when we're given difficult tasks to do, and we make it happen. And I think that's what the Bombers did this season. It was incredible. Did a great job, and I think it just shows who we are as Manitobans as well.
Now on Friday, new restrictions were announced. They just came into effect at the start of this week. So unfortunately, another Christmas with limited contacts and not being able to get together with family and friends as much as we'd hope. I'm wondering, help us peek behind the scenes a little bit. What are some of the things that you and Dr. Roosin and your ministers, what are the things you're looking at as you're making these decisions, and what are you considering as you make these difficult decisions?
Like, first of all, nobody likes to impose restrictions on Manitobans. It's very, very difficult and to do so. But, we do so based on the information that we have received, the best information that we've received from public health and others. We look at what's happening around the world, across the country. And sometimes decisions need to be made very, very quickly. Sometimes, we're looking at this day by day. Sometimes it's hour by hour. Or minute by minute as to how we're going to make these changes. And I think it was important that when the decision was made to impose some of these restrictions on Manitobans, that we were giving enough warning to those who were impacted by it, and also giving them as well some of the necessary supports that we need moving forward. So that's obviously, those are the things that we're in discussion about on a daily basis.
Yeah, I know, for me and my wife, we've been very fortunate. We've been able to work from home, right? And our income hasn't been affected. We have childcare, although I do have a sick kid at home with me today. But for the most part, we've been really fortunate. But I know I have friends that own small businesses and restaurants, and they really are hurting in a lot of ways that some of us can't even imagine right now. How is the government hoping to help them?
Yeah, well, on that front, we have announced already some supports for Manitobans. And, so, obviously those are geared towards those who are impacted specifically by this round of restrictions, I guess. So we'll continue to monitor those. We obviously want to get our businesses through this difficult time. We want to ensure they can stay afloat, so that after that, we are creating an environment that's conducive to growing those businesses here in Manitoba. We want to see them stay here and grow here, so we can get our economy back up and running.
2022 just around the corner. I know it's hard to kind of talk about the future right now, but right now, how do you see 2022 rolling out, and what are your hopes for the new year in Manitoba?
Well, what I will say, Mike, is that we do know one thing about pandemics: they do come to an end at some point. Right now, unfortunately, we are continuing to go through this, and there's a lot of unknowns with respect to this variant. And so we're trying to keep Manitobans safe throughout this. But we know that there's hope and opportunity for the future, that pandemics do come to an end. And what we want to do is ensure that we're getting our economy back up and running. So again, supporting those small, mid-sized businesses to get through the difficult times right now, and ensure that on the other side of this, we're giving them the tools that they need to grow our economy. If we grow our economy, there's more money for healthcare, education, social services, but we're also running a significant deficit. And so there's got to be kind of a balanced approach to how we move forward.
You mentioned a word there that always catches my attention. That was hope. What gives you hope for the future?
I think what gives me hope is that I know that we will get through this pandemic. It's going to be, a little challenging over the next few months. I ask Manitobans to be kind to one another, to be patient. We will get through this together, and that gives me hope for the future. I know Manitobans are very resilient. I know people are exhausted with COVID, though. I mean, people are tired of this. They want it to end. And so all I can say is we know from past history that pandemics do end. And, when this one ends, we need to all be joined and united together towards ensuring that we're growing our economy, and that Manitoba will be placed on the map, around the world. And so that's what we're certainly committed to, and looking forward to working with Manitobans to that end.
It's a hard job for you folks to make these decisions right now.
Well, I think it's important to just recognize we're all human as well. Yeah. And are we going to make mistakes? Yes, we're going to make mistakes. And if we make mistakes, just own up to them and we can move on. I don't have, the pandemic playbook in front of me. No one does about what the future may look like, or how to deal with things on a day-to-day basis. We can only do our jobs to the best of our ability, and with the best information that we have at any given time, right? So I just ask that Manitobans be patient. We will get through this. I know nobody likes the restrictions, and people are tired and whatnot, but we will get through this. We will get to the other side. There is hope and opportunity ahead of us. Just be patient. We'll get through it together.
You mentioned unity before. You've talked about uniting your party. You've had some interesting things going on in the past couple of months, and now the judge has made his decision in the leadership race. So how do you hope to unite your party now going forward? But how do you also hope that we could unite Manitobans, whether they're a PC member or NDP or Liberal or wherever they are on the political spectrum?
Yeah, I think it's whether they're PC party members or just Manitobans. I mean, we need to work together. We've got some challenges ahead of us that we need to get through, the pandemic and other challenges. And, it's important that we do that together. I think we may have some differing opinions when it comes to how to deal with the pandemic. I think that there are other issues that I think that we can find some common ground on. So whether it's a party member or, other people in various communities, I think we will find that common ground, and we will work towards ensuring that, especially when it comes to growing our economy, getting our businesses back up and running, all of these types of things. I think that there are some great opportunities for us to work together for a better future.
What's the past couple months been like for your family? How have they been adjusting to you and your new responsibilities?
Yeah, well, I mean, my kids were born into this because I was elected 21 years ago. And actually, my daughter was born a year to the day after I was elected.
Oh, wow.
So we share that anniversary, her birthday, my anniversary, that date together. So it's a special day, November 21st every year for us. And I know that, my son went through his own election this year. He's the president of the student council at his high school. He's in grade 12 this year. And so he went through his own election at the same time as me. So I said, okay, well, now you've won your election, so come and help me win mine.
Nice.
Fine. I mean, we are a political family. We have been, my kids have been very involved from day one at a very young age, as I was too growing up. And so And my husband, obviously very political as well, and from a political family, the Stefanson family. So, we politics is just a part of our lives, and I think they're used to it. They may get a little frustrated at times too, as we all do. We're human, but I thank them for their patience and for their support.
What makes a person decide, or for you, what made you decide, I want to get into politics? Was it like, I want to tell people what to do and make rules and laws, or what was it for you that made you seek this out? Because it's a pretty high pressure and highly scrutinized job. So yeah, what was it?
When I first got into politics, I've been involved in politics pretty much all my life. My dad ran back when I was 7 years old and helped him on his campaigns. He wasn't successful back then when he ran provincially, but it's always been in my blood. And I've always just wanted to make that difference. When I decided to seek the nomination in the Tuxedo constituency, it was Gary Filman resigned from his seat. And I was on as executive, and I thought, well, maybe now's an opportunity. I just turned 30, and I thought, well, maybe now's the opportunity. And so I did. I sought the nomination, I had a contested nomination and won that. And then, the rest is kind of history from there. But I always had this passion towards, making, Manitoba a better place, wanting to really, when I first got elected, I wanted to ensure that my friends were staying and raising their families in Manitoba. And so that was something that was passionate, for me. So, I continue to have those passions today, and just, in a different role now. So
I'd love to talk more about that. Next time we talk, I'm from a small town and watching those towns shrink, right? And would love to talk more. I'll let you go right away, but you said politicians are humans too. Last question, Madam Premier, what does the Premier want for Christmas?
I want the pandemic to end.
I think we can all agree with that. Well, we do wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We thank you and all members of the legislature for your work that you do as well. And thank you again for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thanks so much, Mike. And have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to you and your family as well.